This pasta is called The Abandoned Mine. When I was a 5th grader, my friends and I would often hang out after school. One of our favorite places to go was an abandoned mine. There was an entrance on a mountain near the school. There was a big hole halfway up the mountain, and if you peeked inside, it looked like the path started about 5 meters down. One day, the 4 of us decided we wanted to go inside the mine. We brought rope and flashlights with us to school, and when classes were finished, we brought everything with us to the entrance of the mine. I went in first, and we tied the rope to a tree, and I slowly lowered myself down into the hole, holding onto the rope and groping the wall with my feet as I went. At some point, I thought my foot had gone a really good hold on the side, but it slipped and I fell to the bottom. I immediately felt pain everywhere. I was scraped up all over, my left ankle was sprained, and there was a huge 8-centimeter gash on my right arm. My palms were also in really bad shape from rope burn. There was quite a bit of blood on me and the ground. I was scared. I turned on my flashlight and turned it towards the path leading into the mountain. Something inside was swaying back and forth. "Are you okay?" my friends cried out. I hadn't said anything to them since falling, so I assumed they were very worried. "Yeah, I'm okay, guys. Hurry up and come down here." I tried to sound strong, but my voice was shaking from the pain and the fear. I wanted to cry out and scream, but I thought my friends might also run away and leave me in the hole. I tried to stay as calm as I could so they would stay with me. "Oh my gosh, your face is all bloody. Get back up here," they yelled. Nobody made any move to come down the hole. "Okay, I'm coming, but could you watch me while I'm climbing back up? Don't go anywhere without me. Please stay here until I get back up there." I was half crying at this point. The 3 of them took turns keeping an eye on me as I worked. My hands could not grip the rope anymore, so I slowly piled up rocks on top of each other to make a sort of staircase for myself. The pile was fairly large when the sun finally went down. I stopped my work and started to climb up to the top. I saw my friends' faces and felt a sense of relief at knowing I was almost out. That, along with the pain and fatigue, seemed to have finally gotten the best of me. I could barely move, and I asked my friends to help pull me up. They started to pull me up by my arms. I was so close. I was going to make it. "Ah!" 2 of my friends screamed and ran away. I started to fall backwards, but the last of my friends stayed and continued to help me out of the hole. "Thanks," I said, and sat on the ground. I looked at him only to see his eyes fixated on something behind me. I wanted to see what was there, but I was too scared to turn around. Instead, I stood up and leaned on his shoulder. As we went down the side of the mountain, I tried to go as quickly as we could. "What were you looking at?" I asked when we got to safety. "A man. He was covered in blood, but he's not following us anymore," he said. It was 5 o'clock when we finally got home. My parents saw blood covering my skin and clothes and began to ask me questions one after another. I told them that everything had gone horribly wrong when we had tried to climb into the mountain. The man and everything else was also explained as well, him covered in blood and walking. My mother started to panic and dragged me outside after grabbing a large bag of salt. She circled me, throwing salt on me as she went. Tears came to my eyes as the salt hit my wounds, but my mother insisted on finishing. When I asked her why she did that, she looked at me very gravely. Apparently, the mine had been closed up to an accident several years ago. Many people died, and it is said that their spirits still haunt the mountain. Today we see salt being used in our creepypasta, and that is because salt being thrown on you or behind you or placed at doorways is supposed to keep out onryo, yurei, obake, and all sorts of demons. It's supposed to keep away bad spirits as well, and this comes from actually a place in China where an emperor who ruled there would have a group of concubines, which is like pretty much the equivalent to old school prostitutes, and each night he would sleep with a different one, and the more fond of one that he was with, the more luxurious their life would be, the more gifts they would get. And one of the ways he would choose which one to sleep with each night, because they each had their own houses within his court, is he would let his ox wander around and choose a house to stop at. Well, one of those of the group of his harem, who must have been quite intelligent, was smart enough to leave a pile of salt out in front of her door, and each night the ox would constantly choose her because he wanted to get at the salt lick. The emperor, unknowing of this, would choose her every night, and she lived a great life because of it. Ever since then, it's seen as salt is connected to good luck, warding off evil, warding off the bad, and living a good, luxurious life. That said, that's how our story associates with salt tonight. Until next time, I'm Unrested. This was JPASTA.